feel like a frog always gives you a chance at the biggest bass. Morning everybody, Mike from FisherMN here, and we are in the Mille Lacs area. It's going to be windy today, so I made the choice to go to a small lake. I did some research on the DNR site, and this lake could be a hidden gem. I've only been there a couple of times before, and it's been years since I've been back. That's half the fun of going to a new lake, is finding the fish and seeing if we can get a big one. Let's go fishing. Hey, we made it. Got a small lake. You can see it's already a little breezy. Thought we'd just go kind of local here in the Mille Lacs area. Great to be out again. Summer 2023. Another beautiful sunrise. Kind of looking at our options here. And first thing was these lily pads, but it's pretty choked out with weeds, so give them a little bit of a try before it gets too windy. It's been a couple of years since I've been back to this lake. The landing is pretty sketchy, so I don't think many huge bass boats are getting in. Well, there's our first hit of the day. We'll kind of move away from that one. That's a little northern. We like our frog. I think that we're going to go over to this kind of main weedy area. The wind's been blowing in this since earlier this morning. Kind of looking where things drop off here. You've got 8 feet in tall weeds all the way to the top. And then, like most lakes, it should kind of taper off as we get to deeper water. If there's a defined edge, it might be a crankbait bite. There it is. You can kind of see about 9 feet. The weeds become a little more sparse. Fish on. Fish and weeds on? Hey, look at that. Now that's a good catch because it's our first fish. Get the skunk out of the boat and it shows us what's down there. Some nice green weeds. For our winter project, I'm actually gonna measure this guy. 12.5. All right, let's see what a 12.5-inch bass on this lake weighs. This 12.5-inch bass weighs 0.99 pounds. All right, so can't get much closer to a pound. 12.5-incher, 0.99. Kind of the main point in the whole lake here. I thinking there's going to be some fish off of this point. Oh, that's right. Fish on. All right, another little guy. So hopefully we can get a big guy here too. Interestingly enough, the DNR actually lists a 20 to 24 inch fish on this lake. And even on the best lakes that I fish, I don't see that too often. So potential for a big guy. All right, instead of going with the wind, I'm gonna loop around. You can kind of see how this point goes. And I'm gonna come up against the wind and bring my bait with the wind, if any of that makes sense. All right, so we kind of came that way on the point, looped around and came back here so we can work our way up the point. So many lakes I've been fishing lately have kind of dead weeds in them. So kind of nice to see green, like healthy green weeds. I feel like a frog always gives you a chance at the biggest bass. Even in windy conditions. If there were a fish in here, it would show itself. And maybe that a little bit later in the morning might be the best time for it. Oh. I see the opening and I just can't get to it. He did. There we go. Windy frogging. Windy frogging. All right. This felt like, you know, yesterday I was fishing the same conditions, same thing. Lily pad field. What a nice fish. This guy is chunky. .32 pounds. What have we got for length? $17 and a half. All right, 17 and a half, 3.32 pounds. Good fish. Back he goes. I was worried about being able to get it somewhere where he could get at it. He got it just fine. Nice. Just goes to show, once they get that frog on their mind, once they kind of miss it or whatever, man, when they find it, they don't leave any doubt. It's so much fun. All right, a pretty good start. Couple of small bass, a nice one, and we'll keep going. All right, short run to calmer waters. Very interesting over here. We've got 8.9 feet right here, so we got some deep water access in case there's a few bass hiding in these lily pads. There we go. Another frog bass. Hanging out by the lily pads. There we go. I am shocked that we haven't seen more northerns today. Now that'll probably change, but that's a good thing because they can kind of be a menace if you have a lot of those small northerns. Switched over to the white chatterbait. That seemed to help. 15.5. Good to get another fish on the board. Another bass. Another way on the chatterbait. Switch to the white. Traveling around in the 6 to 9 feet of water. Got some clumps of weeds, kind of bumping through them, seeing if anything will trigger. Keeping my eyes open too because I want to do some panfish fishing today. In fact, right now, got some stuff right under me that looks pretty good. So we'll do the rod shuffle. There we go. Panfish right away. Alright, sunfish. Always gotta turn on the front camera for a panfish montage. I am shocked that we haven't caught a bunch of small northerns today. I thought that's what would dominate the day. So, kind of a nice day though. Got a good sized bass in the boat, some other bass, some panfish, and now we're gonna head back to where we caught our biggest fish and hope that there's some more hunting there with this wind kind of blowing in on the main point of the lake. Fish on. There's the bass. All right. Give it a nice jump. Frisky guy. 13.5-inch bass. Usually we want to shoot for 80 on just a regular lake. 16-inch average, so maybe we'll get a couple of big ones on the way in. Alright, back where we got our big fish in that lily pad area there. I think there's kind of a point that comes out. So before we go back and try some windy frogging, let's throw the white chatterbait. We threw the black one before. Let's throw the white one and see if we can get some fish. We'll ease our way up to where it comes up. Oh, it is a fish. Huh. An accidental bass. Little guy. We need one of those, not like, oh, I think I have one on. We need one of those, boom, that smashes. Alright, sun's a little higher in the sky. Maybe there's a few big fish looking to just kind of rest. Throw a couple into the real heavy stuff. A nice setup for it, but whew, that wind is whipping. Alright, we're going to drop down the yellow and see if we can end on a fish today. There we go. Alright, nice to end on a fish. So this video will probably end up on a Wednesday, and I'll probably call it a bass snack or something. Just a nice summer day of fishing on a day that's going to be taken over by the wind and possibly some storms tonight. Nice to get out in the Mille Lacs area. I appreciate you watching this video, and I will see you on the next one.
Thank you.